Folks, hello. It's me, Denny Carter from NBC Sports. I am in an undisclosed location. No one can know where I am right now. I'm actually at NBC Sports headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. I'm streaming straight to you and your brain from here, from this undisclosed, now very much disclosed location, because, folks, I did the fantasy football happy hour with Matthew Berry and Connor Rogers today. Good experience as always. The guys, they make it easy. Like, worry, am I gonna mess up? In front of the cameras. Always have a little jitters. I'm used to podcasting from my mom's basement, so you put me in the studio and I feel a little nervous, get a little nervous. But the guys make it easy, and you end up. Here's what happens: I end up just talking football, and I like doing that, and I can do that. So you just talk football. You also pretend that everyone's in their underwear, which is that's a trick. That not just I'm not the only one. Many people use that. And so that's what I pictured. It's a little weird. It was a little uncomfortable in hindsight. Probably shouldn't have said that. And if you're wondering why I look kind of weird, it's because I have TV makeup on, and I didn't have time to take the special cloths and take off all of the makeup. So that's why I look like this. As my son said, you look like you're 20 years old, which I instantly wanted to break down and cry because, at 40, you don't mind looking like 20. You don't mind it. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. I have my coffee here. The only place I know, the NBC Sports HQ is large, and many would call sprawling. It's just an enormous complex, really cool place. The only place I know how to get to is the coffee room. That's it. That's the only place. There are 45 other places I need to know how to get to in this office. I don't know. I have to actually get someone to take me there because I'm terrible with directions. Always have been. But here's what I don't need help getting to the coffee place. Getting to the little area that produces my coffee. For some reason, folks, I have memorized that. I also know how to get to the ping pong table and the putting green, which is incredible, by the way. It's right outside. It's a little cold today, but they have a putting green here, and it's incredible. And I would spend literally all day on that putting green if I worked here. I'm sure my bosses would be thrilled to hear that and to see that. Oh, Denny's on his third straight hour of putting, grinding 4-foot par putts. Exactly what we pay him for. Anyway, let's get to your questions. You can send me your start sits, your trade questions about life, questions about the universe and the nature of said universe, things of that nature. And there was something. Oh, yes. Read my regression files piece on NBC Sports, and you can also read what we're calling the funnel defense report, where I outline teams that are being attacked kind of disproportionately via the pass or the run. I have some interesting tidbits in this week's article. All right. Here we go. Will Levis or Geno Smith. So I think Geno is the safer play here. Washington is pretty gettable in the secondary. I know that the Seahawks offense in general has been running super cold. Okay. Like they should have a lot more touchdowns, specifically passing touchdowns per the regression situation there. So I do like Geno here, but I will say Levis probably is more of an upside play. See, with Levis though, it depends almost entirely on the game script here, between the Titans and the Bucks. The Bucks are a pass funnel. That's cool. That should work. it should give Levis some sort of floor. But if the Titans get out to a lead, there's just no way that Mike Vrabel is going to keep passing at any sort of rate that we would want to see, right? So they're just gonna run Derrick Henry 48 times at that point if they get a lead here. So Will Levis has a little more variance to him than Geno. I'll go with Geno. All right. Please pick a flex for my half PPR. Pop Douglas, Demario Douglas, for those who don't know, and Tyler Algier. I'm starting Bijan as my RB2. Hey, look. If there's ever a reason, no, not a reason. If there's ever a week, a time to start both Atlanta Falcons running backs, it's this week. Okay. The Cardinals are being hammered via the ground. We all know that Arthur Smith wants to establish it. He's made that very, very clear. Everyone knows that. My mom knows that somehow. I don't even know. She's never even watched football. Yeah. So if you look at the Falcons on the season, they're 6% under their expected drop back rate. Only the Bears are more run heavy in that regard. So I think this is a game. This is a game where the Falcons will run it 40 times if they can. Now, if Kyler comes out guns blazing, sets the world on fire, and the Cardinals get out to a 2-3 touchdown lead or whatever, then it's Jover for both, probably Bijan Robinson. That's what we're saying now, Bijan, and Tyler Algier. But Algier, look, Arthur Smith came out this week and he said, guys, look, I know you're triggered. I know you're going to cry about it and you're going to cope. But guess what? Tyler Algier is a really good short yardage and goal line back. We're going to continue to use him in that capacity. We don't like it. Well, I do because I have Tyler Algier on a lot of teams and on best ball teams because his contingency value is outrageous. I do have this. If I could just read the class something from this week's regression files. Yuck. Regression week 10. All right. I mentioned Algier in the piece. So Algier was really solid last year from like an efficiency standpoint. Not so much this year. Today, Tyler Algier is 26th in rush yards after contact per attempt. Last season, he was 6th in the entire league. Algier was 5th in Pro Football Focus's elusive rating last season. This season, he ranks 29th. I think, there's a universe. There are many universes. In one universe, at least, maybe multiple. The multiverse of Tyler Algier. I think that's actually the next Marvel line of movies. And yes, Marvel, I know you've been asking me. I will participate. Okay, I will do that for you. Where Algier gets back to form. He's been not very good from an efficiency standpoint. And if he gets better, he could be really good for fantasy in this super ultra 1979 style run heavy Falcons offense. Are you rolling with Stroud over Kyler? Yes. You're going with Stroud over Kyler. Thing with Kyler, I got to see it. I'm sorry. Like, I know that's really not the greatest fantasy advice, but I have to see Kyler, whether he's running or whatever, whether he's mobile, whether he's like gimpy. I got to see it before I commit to him as a fantasy starter. And if you have CJ Stroud, he's playing a huge fat pass funnel, not fast funnel, pass funnel defense in the Bengals. Bengals run defense is good. Also, Devin Singletary, who's going to be the primary back again with Dameon Pierce likely out. Singletary's not good. So, you have that situation where I think Stroud's going to drop back 40 plus times here. All right. David Cook, PPR league, lost Chubb and Pacheco. It's on a bye at running back. Should I start McLaughlin, Sharbs, Mitchell, or drop one and pick up Algier? That's a great question, David. That's a great question. Let me know if anybody gives you any good advice. No, you can't. McLaughlin's not really in the conversation. Mitchell, look, Keaton Mitchell this week, as excited as we are, and I'm excited. My buddy, my Rotoworld buddy, and colleague Zach Kruger, super excited. Zach Kruger bought an East Carolina hat this week as a tribute to Keaton Mitchell's season after Mitchell's breakout week in week 9. I mean, look, Mitchell could see 5 touches here against the Browns. I mean, it could be ugly. So I can't really go with him either. This is my long way of saying drop. Drop McLaughlin and get Algier. There you go. Good morning from the West Coast. You guys are awake? It's only 10:25 on the West Coast. I thought everybody on the West Coast sleeps till noon. Go back to bed, man. Would I start Deontay over Pickens? Yes. Oh, standard? Oh. Why? No. That makes it somewhat interesting, but I'm still going to go with Deontay. Still go with Deontay. Barkley or Rachaad White? That's a good question. So Rachaad White over the past month has become like Alvin Kamara light. Okay. He's like, if you don't want the full Kamara experience, the full scam, okay, because Kamara is just a total scam at this point, PPR wise. If you don't want that, then you can have a little Rachaad White. He's a little light beer, for the lightweight, PPR scammer. So I do get the interest there in White. He also lucked into touchdowns last week. That's not going to happen. Yeah, I think you have to go Barkley. Would I start Najee or Noah Brown in PPR? I'm glad you asked. Nico Collins is out, folks, which is a pretty huge blow to this Texans offense and kind of makes me a little bit iffy on everybody. I think it could get really ugly for the Texans. I think the Bengals could win by a lot here. Texans are not good at all. So, and the Bengals are hot. So I wrote up Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren as good plays, good matchup-based plays this week against a Green Bay defense that has been one of the more extreme run funnel defenses in the entire league. Obviously, the Steelers want to keep the ball out of Kenny Pickett's hands. We see that with here are their following games, okay, as far as drop back rate over expected, okay. -5% against the Ravens in week 5, -10% against the Rams in week 7, and then they went 11% over their expected drop back rate against the Jaguars in week 8. That was a little fluky. They had to. And then last week in a more neutral game script, they were 9% under their expected drop back rate against Tennessee. Overall, they are super run heavy. So what I'm saying, this is a long way of me saying, I'd go with Najee because I think he has some touchdown appeal this week. He's still seeing. He has 10 green zone touches to only 1 for Jaylen Warren over the past 3 weeks. So he remains. He's the play. I will say this about Noah Brown. I mentioned this in my funnel defense funnel, whatever we're calling it, piece. The Bengals are really struggling against the slot. We saw that last week where Dalton Kincaid and Khalil Shakir were pretty solid because they're running routes from the slot against Cincinnati. That's where they struggle. They tend to shut down outside receivers. I just want to note that because Tank Dell runs about 70% of his routes from the outside, from the boundary. So that could be something of an issue for him in this game. But yes, I love Schultz and Brown's a decent option with Nico Collins out. Yeah, man. I have TV makeup on. You wouldn't believe how much makeup. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I mean, they took away the bags under my eyes. I don't have any bags on my eyes. I gotta get the makeup people to come to my house every day. They gave me the full Rob Lowe. I appreciate that. Very nice. Very nice. You guys are too nice. Too nice to me. You're down bad. You are down tremendous. Rest of season. Tommy, stop. You're messing with me. This is a troll question. This cannot be real. This can't be real. I refuse to believe it. Oh my goodness. Tommy DeVito, the worst quarterback, and no offense, Tommy, but come on. We on this show, on this stream, we're honest. I'm honest with the people. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna be straight to the point here, Tommy. Tommy DeVito is the worst quarterback in recent NFL history. I mean, truly, like truly. So I don't know what to say here. This is unbelievable. Like true, like I can't believe it. I guess Wentz, man. Yes. Did someone say they would talk about fantasy football here? I did, Greg. Alfredo says pick 2 for the flex out of Tyler Boyd, Algier, Douglas, and Judy. We're not going to talk about Judy. That's, please, before, I'm not making fun of anybody. This is David Bowie's character in the Twin Peaks movie says that line. We are not going to talk about Judy. You look it up. David Bowie, Judy, and it'll come up. Great little scene. But yeah, you're going with Judy, and you're going with pick 2 flex. Algier, and Judy. I like Algier. Like I said, I got offered AJ Brown and Madison for Puka and Mostert. Yes. So here's the, remember, this is something I want to remind the folks about. Okay. Look, when you're doing a multiplayer trade, you evaluate all the players in the trade and you say, who is the best player here? Okay. Now, it's clearly AJ Brown, and Puka Nakua's prospects are shaky at best going forward with Matthew Stafford's finger injury, with Carson Wentz, with the Rams going run heavy, with Cooper Kupp in the lineup and generally dominating targets. So Puka had a nice run, and I do like him long term as a fantasy receiver, as an NFL receiver. Okay, Puka Nation forever. We will never cede ground to the anti-Puka folks. I haven't heard from them. If you hear from the anti-Puka folks, let me know. I can't find them anywhere. They've gone into hiding. I don't know where they went. I guess they were just so horrifically wrong on Puka Nacua because he wasn't, I don't know, a super athlete, as if that matters. As if, come on. We're past that. We're past in the evaluation process. Athleticism? Come on. You can't be serious with athleticism. Doesn't matter at all. Jake Bobo is the least athletic guy to ever test at the compound, and he's on his way to being a viable fantasy option in the Seahawks offense. It doesn't matter. Kidding me? Puka Nacua was productive. He was efficient as a receiver in college. That's what matters. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, that's a good trade. You take that. I hope you did. Gus Bus versus Kittle. You're going with Gus Edwards, hoping the touchdown situation continues. He has that role locked in, for better or worse. I'm triggered. I'm upset. I don't like it. I don't like when running backs score a lot of touchdowns at an absurd rate. Gus Edwards has scored a touchdown on 25% of his carries over the past 2 games. That's disgusting. It's unseemly. Honestly, Congress is as usual, not taking action against this. This should be illegal. I think we can, as a society, we can say that this is not right, that a running back is scoring a touchdown once every 4th carry. No, I refuse. But I mean, yeah. With Debo back, Kittle is it's Joe over for Kittle. Trade Mostert for Puka. Well, Devon Achane is coming back for the Dolphins. That's a tough one. That is a difficult one. It depends on your team. In a vacuum, I would want Mostert going forward. It looks like they put you in the basement. They did. I'm looking for a stapler. God, I wish there was a stapler around here. All I want is a stapler, and they won't give me a stapler. I'm not in the basement, by the way. Stop saying I'm in the basement. Greg says I'm holding 4 defenses. I'm upset. Greg, if that was the intent of that comment, then you have achieved it. That's upsetting to me. 4 defenses. I do want to say this on that front, on the holding defenses thing, rostering multiple defenses. You shouldn't be. Obviously, this is horrifying. And Greg, you should be ashamed of yourself. And you're calling the authorities. I have no choice but to call the police. 4 defenses. Come on. Actually, you spelled it defendences. I don't know if that's different than defenses, but here's the thing. The Commanders play the Tommy DeVito-led Giants in Week 11. They're available on many waiver wires, Washington is. So if you have room on your bench, do yourself a favor. And if you're streaming defenses, you go pick up Washington, you put them on your bench, you start them next week. Bang. 20 points for Washington. Probably not. But they're a good play. They're going to be a top streaming play. Mm-hmm. No, still no robe, Patrick. Sorry, brother. No robe yet. Maybe next week. Quentin Johnston, Rondell Shakir, Michael Wilson. The wire is real thin and I need a receiver. So only one of those? You're going with Khalil Shakir. Yeah, you're going with Shakir for sure. Really good route rate recently. Look, I actually have the stats somewhere. Hold on. Yeah. So here over the past past 2 games, when you look at targets per route run, Stefon Diggs is leading the Bills at 25%. Kincaid's at 24%. Shakir is at 19%. And then you drop down to Dalvin Cook and Gabe Davis all the way down at 13%. So Shakir's a better option than Gabe Davis right now. Because he's more reliable from a PPR perspective. So I go with Shakir. I'm leaning Taysom in the flex. Other options are Jalen Warren or Xavier. Yeah, dude, that's a slam dunk. It's Taysom by miles. If you have Taysom Hill, I need you to wrap your head around what you have here in Taysom Hill. You have a guy who comes in and plays quarterback, but not just quarterback, plays rushing, mobile, dual threat quarterback inside the 20 every time the Saints breach the 20-yard line. Every time they get inside the red zone, Derek Carr trots to the sideline, Taysom Hill comes in, and he throws it or he runs it, and he's running routes. He's running half the routes in the Saints offense. He saw 5 targets last week. He caught 4. What you have with Taysom Hill right now, until further notice, and honestly, that notice could be coming. Like the Saints are a little bit fickle with how they use Taysom. Okay, but his expanding package means that you have a guy who's going to touch the ball conservatively 10 plus times in a game. You can't say that about any tight end, including Travis Kelce. What you have with Taysom, guys, is you have the most valuable tight end in fantasy. That's true. Like that's a factual statement. You can check it out with any newspaper. They'll confirm this. I really do think that Taysom should be considered the tight end 1 overall right now with the role he has as a goal line back, as a guy who's throwing 2 or 3 passes a game, and more importantly, as the guy who they jam into the lineup and they base the entire offense around when they get near the end zone. That's tremendous. If you have Taysom, you have to find a way to play him, whether it's in a flex, whether it's in the tight end spot, whatever. You got to put him in there. What kind of room is this? It is. I was being interrogated about why did you write about Tyler Algier in a positive light this week? And I said I will never say. And then I said immediately because I'm weak and scared. Thoughts on sending Devontae Smith for Hollywood Brown? That's tough. That's real tough because Devontae is, he is a distant wide receiver too. If you look at air yards, target share, targets per route run, yards per route run, all of it is really bleak for Devontae. Devontae Smith is playing alongside the last alpha receiver. I should say the last big receiver. A.J. Brown's the last big receiver. There are no more after him. The future of the NFL is a bunch of receivers who are 5'9" to 5'11", 170 to 185 pounds, and they're very fast, but they're not big. And this is the future of the league. There are no more after A.J. Brown. The species of the large Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson, Josh Gordon type receivers, just to name a few more recent ones, it's over. And so it's cool to see A.J. Brown do what he's doing, like just dominating targets and air yards in that offense. I think if you believe that Kyler Murray is like fully back, and I think that there is reason to believe that, then I would actually go with Hollywood here. It's very close though. Better PPR flex, James Cook or Kincaid? It's Kincaid. It's Kincaid by a good margin. James Cook is running a decent number of routes. He's not being targeted at all. So you go with Kincaid there. Are you being roughed up for inside fantasy football? I am. Somebody help me. Choose two with in PPR. James Conner is supposed to be back probably this week. Javonte and Deontay. Javonte and Deontay. Yes. I think so. Javonte Williams has a pretty solid role, not like spectacular, solid role in a Broncos offense that, folks, I think they're going to get really run heavy. I'll just share this information with you here real quick. Over the past 3 weeks against the Chiefs in week 6, Broncos were 7% under their expected dropback rate, then -2%, then -8% against Kansas City once again in week 8. I think we're going to see more of that. I think we're going to see that against the Bills. Buffalo allows top 3 rate in yards after contact per attempt. That's pretty good. That's a good sign for a tackle breaker, a tough runner like Javonte Williams. Whew. So I'm going with Javonte, and I'm going with Deontay. Cris, hello, Cris. Yes, new background. Tyler Boyd, Davis, Myers. Okay, you're going with Tyler Boyd because T. Higgins is out. What a bummer, by the way. Question 2, Moss or Spears? I'd go with I'd lean Moss. Just barely. It's happy birthday, Cris. It's his birthday. Should I get ice cream, cake, or pizza, or all 3? You should splurge, sir. Good sir, you should splurge. Mostly, you should just get ice cream cake. It's the only legitimate kind of cake. I think we can all agree on that. It's okay, right? Gotcha. All right. Good luck. Jahan Dotson or Tank Dell. Dotson is a solid option, but you gotta play Tank Dell there. Like I said, I really do think Stroud drops back 40+ times in this game, which we like. We like that. Keep it up, Texans. Keep it up. PFF Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator. He's a geek. He's one of us. He's a big old nerd. We love you, Bobby. Keep passing. Please don't establish the run anymore. Jerry says PPR league, lost Goddard. Yeah, Goddard's going to be out for a while. Who should I pick up? Njoku, Musgrave, Otten, Henry, blah, 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 blah. Well, I mean, you are streaming. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but you are streaming. I'd go with Njoku. Njoku is getting very much involved in the red zone offense for Cleveland. Throw him in there. Redraft half PPR, DK Metcalf or Madison. Man, Bijan and Swift are your foundation. That's a tough. It's a little iffy. A little iffy foundation. I don't know if I'm going to call these guys foundational players. Here's the thing in fantasy this year: there are no good players. Okay, there are very few good players. Like last year, it was like clear. Like if you didn't get Cooper Kupp, you didn't win anything, basically. Okay, or Jalen Hurts or whatever. This year, it's like AJ Brown, Taysom Hill, and Tyreek Hill. Those are the three good fantasy players. I think that's the list. That's the list. This is a trade. I would want DK in both of those scenarios. So, if Chase and Higgins are both out, Higgins is out. Jamar Chase is probably going to play. Irv Smith is not relevant. Because here's the thing: the Bengals have a 3-way tight end rotation, which is the kind of thing that could put me in an asylum. I mean, who does that? They know. Look, I don't know what it is with Irv Smith, but nobody wants to play. None of his teams want to play Irv Smith as an every down route running, pass catching tight end, for better or worse. We have to accept that Irv Smith is not fantasy relevant. I already have Ingram, so it would be flexing him. Oh God, no, please, good God, no. Okay, if you want to take advantage of this T. Higgins situation, then you play Trent Irwin. The kids are calling him Trenton Irwin, the fifth Esquire. Trenton Irwin, the fifth Esquire. The dude had 10 targets last time T. Higgins didn't play. Okay, he runs like, I think you could pencil him in for 85% of the routes against the Texans. Is he going to get you a bunch of yards? Absolutely not. Could he get you a short touchdown? Sure. Yeah. So Trent Irwin, if you okay, how do I take advantage of this T. Higgins thing? Trent Irwin is the way, not Irv Smith. Tank Dell or Godwin. Yeah, you gotta go down. Gotta go down. All right. Bench one. Amari Cooper, Ridley, or Gabe Davis. You're benching Gabe Davis. There you go. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, listen, if you have access to the Cowboys defense this week, if for some reason they're on the waiver wire, if you have them on your team, then you are legally and constitutionally bound to play them against, again, Tommy DeVito. I can't emphasize this enough. Tommy DeVito and the Giants. You got to play them. Cowboys are to say the Cowboys defense is in a smash spot would insult all smash spots. No, that's not true. It would insult the Cowboys. Because this is a game where the Cowboys defense could score 20 plus fantasy points. So you got to play. I mean, Ravens are also a good play, but you got to play Cowboys. Pick one in flex. One flex pool PPR. Warren, Brown, Irwin. Brown. I mentioned Brown. If you want to know the lowdown, the breakdown on Noah Brown, rewind and watch my spiel earlier. For running back Ken Walker or Charbonnet, I guess you guys still got to start Walker. And then for my sorry, I'm having trouble following this here. Okay, go with Amari Cooper, go with Quentin Johnston, go with Walker. I hope that helps. If Nico doesn't play, pick one flex. I would go. Nico's not playing, by the way. I guess Algier. Full PPR, need to start one out of JSN, Dotson, or Flowers. I know Flowers has been frustrating. I would still start him. I'm not in the office. Stop saying I'm not in the closet. No one put me in the closet. No one put me in the basement. This is a legit spot in NBC Sports HQ. I can prove it, folks. Look, there are other people here, folks. Look, see. All right, give me a break. They talk to me. They're nice people. No, I don't have a red swing line stapler. All right, guys. We have 10 more minutes. Last flex spot in PPR. Start Irwin or Palmer. I would actually go Irwin. Where are we ranking Noah Brown? Assuming Nico. I mean, give me a question. Give me a question about Noah Brown. I'll try to answer it. Allen only throws to his best friend and the bully. Okay. Okay. Well, thoughts on Noah Brown? Yeah, I talked about Noah Brown earlier. Like him, the Bengals are allowing the third highest target share to pass catchers from the slot. That should really benefit Dalton Schultz, who runs basically all of his routes from the slot, and Noah Brown, who runs about 80% from the slot. There you go. Smith about to take off. Okay. Better start Ridley, Lockett, or Douglas. You got to go Tyler Lockett there. Tyler Boyd is never a smash start against anybody. I mean, he'll probably get a target bump. Maybe he'll see, I don't know, 3 more targets this week because T. Higgins is out. But no, I don't think you shouldn't feel obliged to like jam him into your lineup. Higgins is out there to pick up Shaheed or Shakir. Well, look, you know what you're getting with Rashid Shaheed. You're getting a guy who runs 40 to 50% of the routes, which is not a lot. Everything is downfield. If he doesn't hit the long ball, then you're going to get almost nothing or nothing out of Rashid Shaheed. So just know that going forward. It depends on what you need. If you somehow enter Sunday after Thursday night's debacle, which will be a stain on our national conscience for the rest of eternity, if you're somehow down bad, you throw in Shaheed probably, but otherwise it's Shakir. Pick 2 running backs and a flex. Come on, man, you got to start Breece Hall. Just keep starting Breece Hall. Start Jonathan Taylor, and then start Barkley. I think, yes. All right, I'm going to try to get through these, folks. We have 7 minutes left. Hurts is on a bye. Should I start Mayfield or Dobbs? That's a hard one. I'd lean Dobbs. Just real quick on Josh Dobbs. The thesis of the play, this is what the kids say, is that Josh Dobbs runs a lot. So here we go. Last week he had 7 rushing attempts against the Falcons. And then you go back to his Cardinals days, 6 rushes against the Ravens, 7 against the Seahawks, 8 against the Rams. You go down a little further, 12 against the Niners, 6 against the Cowboys. You get the idea. Josh Dobbs can easily give you 40 to 50 yards rushing, maybe even a touchdown on the ground. So I'd go with Dobbs. I do appreciate that Baker Mayfield thinks he's a mobile quarterback. And it is key to have that mindset, to believe in yourself, in this case, as a running quarterback, the way Baker Mayfield seems to see himself for some reason. He's the slowest guy on the field at any given time. He still sees himself as a running quarterback. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, man. Devontae Adams is in a nightmare spot against a really good Jets defense, or secondary, I should say, in a suddenly massively run-heavy Vegas offense. If London's coming off a groin injury, unless we hear something about him being limited or something, I actually would go with London. I'm sorry. I can't start Devontae Adams if I have another option like a Drake London. All right. Do I start Bijan over any of these 3? Hall, Nope. Don't do that. You got to keep him, I guess, keep him benched. Go with K. Dotton. K. Dotton, he's our route running king. He's out there getting exercise. Sometimes Baker Mayfield throws it to him. You could do worse. Could do worse than Cade Otton. Susan says full PPR flex question with Higgins out. Flex Boyd Shaky. sounds like a player. I love Boyd Shaky. I drafted him in every basketball league. Or Ferguson Ingram. I tight end Laporta. So you got to start Ingram. I really like Ingram. Read my funnel defense report on NBC Sports for more on that. I would actually start Ingram and Laporta there. I hope that helps. I've poisoned you. I've poisoned you with Taysom Hill propaganda. Send Hawk for Hill. I mean, I would try to see if I could get a little more. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Taysom Hill's role, like Hawkinson's role is locked in. We know what's happening there. Okay. PPR scam, catch, fall down 15 times a game. That works for fantasy. Taysom, it's different. The Saints could decide that they don't want to do that stuff anymore with Taysom Hill eventually. His package gets smaller. Then, they have to, and then we're kind of left in the lurch. So try to get more than that, I guess. Oh, there you go. Hello to the Marylanders and only the Marylanders. All right, guys, we have 4 minutes left. Daniel says I'm out of contention. Was offered Bijan Robinson for Austin Eckler in a keeper league. No. Here, okay. Just to be clear, Bijan Robinson is really good. All of the peripheral stats, all of the underlying metrics say that Bijan Robinson, when he is used properly, I don't know when that will be. Okay, 2026, 2027, whatever. He's still young. He's really good. He's really good. And Austin Eckler is old for a running back, so don't do that. Don't do that. Second question, Stroud or Murray? You're going with Stroud. I would play. Well, I already told you who I play in your flex. All right, I'm going to scroll through some of these, try to get Bathroom Ben. Should I start Kyler or Watson? Well, this is high stakes. This is a high stakes start-sit question. Kyler or Watson, and your marriage hinges on it. Now I feel tremendous pressure. So one thing, just real quick, folks, just so you're aware, with Watson. So we got this report just before I started the stream that Browns right tackle DeJuan Jones, who is really good, a standout offensive lineman for Cleveland, he sat out his practice for the third straight day as the Browns get ready to face Baltimore. I'm thinking he's going to be out. Look, Deshaun Watson against that Ravens pass rush without one of his best, if not his single best pass blocker. Whew, that's going to be tough. I actually would be somewhat shocked if Watson is able to finish this game. So I must tell you, Kyler. I must. Noah Brown, JSN, or Warren. I would go with Noah Brown. Need 2 wide receivers and a flex. 2 wide receivers and a flex. Shakir, Warren, JSN. There you go. All right, 2 minutes. So I'm 8-1. Wow, very, very good. I just lost Goddard. Would have to start Musgrave. I got offered Kelsey and Pierce. So Travis Kelsey and Damian Pierce for Swift. My other running backs are Jacobs, Harris, and Gus. Wow. Yeah, take that. Go ahead, please, for the love of God. Sorry to get religious, by the way. All right, a couple more questions. Did I skip over anybody? I'm really sorry if I did. I was kind of in a rush, kind of scrambling here after doing the happy hour, the hour that is happy. It's so happy. We've never seen levels of happy like this, folks. If Nico doesn't play, I think I already answered that one. I'm really sorry, guys. All right. Well, we'll do this one for tight end, Otten or McBride. McBride is the play. Don't give up hope. Look, last week was a fluke. The Clayton Tune experience, thankfully, our long national nightmare is over. Some would say it's Jover. So McBride is back in the saddle. This is the children's Zoomers always saying this. Back in the saddle, running all the routes. He's going to see, 8 targets. Throwing out numbers here this week. Otten's fine, but I like McBride a lot more. One more question, and then we're out of here. I'm out of here. Should I start Marquise Brown, Kirk, or Breece Hall? Breece Hall's seeing 25 touches this week. You got to get him in your lineup. The Raiders are down tremendous against the run. Breece Hall is going to go for 200 total yards this week. Like for later. Folks, thanks for joining me, Denny Carter, for this Friday start sit situation. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at CDCarter13. I'm also on Blue Sky. You can find my regression files piece. You can find my funnel defense piece on NBC Sports. I appreciate everybody joining me once again, consuming this content. I'll see you next Friday. And this is where I end the stream.